Okay. Hi guys. Welcome back, or welcome to if you are new here. First off, new layout, new setup, trying it out. Thoughts, question mark? Let me know. But two, to preface this whole thing, I love buying books. I love reading books. They are two very separate addictions? They're separate kinds of things. There is an embarrassingly high number of books on my shelves that I have not read. I see them, I'm like, man, I can't wait to read you someday. Someday is this year. I'm coming at you with a couple of books. By a couple, I mean quite a few. Books that I want to read and I will read come hell or high water. I think that's the saying. I'm going to read these books in 2022. It's their time. It's been too long since I've gotten them. I don't know why I'm putting it off anymore. I'm excited about reading these books. What am I waiting for, kind of thing? So, for the sake of time, yours and mine, I have grouped these together because there are a number of them, quite a few. But without further ado, let's get into the books that I will read. Hold me to it, you guys. Hold me to it. That I will read in 2022. So, to start off, I have these grouped into clusters or genre things because a lot of them have some similar elements. The first chunk of books is Milk-Fed, Queenie, Luster, and My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Now, what these books all have in common is they are all books about 20-something-year-olds navigating the world, going through some turbulent times, I believe, and trying to just find their own. And I want to read these in 2022, specifically, because if I keep on waiting another year or two, I'm going to be close to or almost at the end of my 20s. And so these books will then have become moot and I will be able to relate to them less. So, because of that, I promise you, I will read at least these 4 books. I have, I think, a few other coming of age 20-something-year-old books as well, but these are the 4 main ones, and for various reasons, I have been putting them off. I will talk more about this later, but I have a slight issue where I will put off books that I think will really excite me. And why do I do that? You tell me, I don't know really. I just feel like I put them off because I feel like I will need them more later. Like maybe they'll help me get out of a slump, or maybe if I'm reading a bunch of duds, I have high expectations for these books and so I kind of hold them off. But yeah, here's these 4. I kind of don't feel like I need to go into exactly what all of them are about because specifically they all are kind of just about 20-something-year-olds, some with almost picturesque lives, some that are kind of stumbling through and making mistakes, but they all have that kind of similar underlying theme about them. Here is the first 4 books that are going on to my 2022 TBR list, I guess. So the second is not even a chunk. It's just 2 books by one author that I have. They are 2 books by Ursula Le Guin. My eldest sister and her husband, my brother-in-law, both love Ursula Le Guin and they rave about her all the time. And so I really want to read one of her books. She is, has a cult following. She is one of the most well-known fantasy, sci-fi authors of all time. But I have Earthsea, a Wizard of Earthsea, and The Dispossessed. I think I asked each of them which book I should start with, and my brother-in-law recommended The Dispossessed. My sister recommended A Wizard of Earthsea. I don't know which one I'll read first, but I am promising that I will read at least one Ursula Le Guin book. I almost just dropped those. Moving and grooving. The third chunk of books is self-development. I love self-development books, and I have 3 that have been on my list for a long time. And kind of how I was talking about how sometimes I will wait to read books that I think will be really impactful, which honestly, the more I think about it, the more foolish that sounds. Like, these books could like help change my life, and why would I want to wait? Make that make sense. It doesn't. But I have Trick Mirror, Atomic Habits, and Untamed. These all have had their own hype. I feel like, who was it? Adele, maybe, was talking about how Untamed completely changed the course of her life. I feel like a lot of YouTubers talk about Atomic Habits. And Trick Mirror, it's reflections on self-delusion. I feel like they each have had their moment. They all have very good ratings. They all have a lot of people that sing their praise. And yeah, I've had them for a while and I haven't read them because I wanted to hold off, because I felt like I would need them later. And it's stupid logic. I've decided. Stupid logic, I'm deciding it right here, right now. My goal, my hope, is to read these on the earlier side of this year. So hopefully in the next 2-3 months, I will be getting to these ones. I only have 2 more chunks left, 2 more chunks of books. Let's go with this one. This is my 4th chunk. It's a little bit all over the place. We have Less, Outlander, The Mothers, and A Man Called Ovie. You're seeing the theme here. A lot of these I've waited because I've heard such good things about them and I wanted to wait until I really needed them. For The Mothers by Brit Bennett, if you have watched pretty much any of my other videos from the last like year and a half, I love Brit Bennett. I loved The Vanishing Half. It is so beautiful. I recommend it to literally anyone who will listen to me, left, right, and center. So I was just holding off being like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so beautiful. I just need to like be in the right headspace, and like one time when I really, really need it, this will be like the thing that just makes me so happy. I wanna be so happy now. And on this, going on another tangent, on this same vein, I want 2022 to be about focusing on books that I know that I'll love. I know what types of books I like. I like self-development. I like contemporary fictions that have this raw, natural element. Think Brit Bennett, think Sally Rooney. I like memoirs. I like classics, or I'm trying to. I don't want to just follow the trends just because they're trendy. I have so many books that I know are in my wheelhouse or up my alley, and I don't know why I don't prioritize those over books that just have the hype in the moment. And a lot of times when I read them, they're disappointing for me. And that's because maybe they aren't what I normally would gravitate to. And the only reason I'm reading it is because of all the noise going around on Book Talk and Bookstagram, BookTube, whatever, what have you. So that's one of my goals. And that was just a tangent. I don't know how much it related back to The Mothers. The next one, Outlander. I've talked about this a lot. Outlander, the TV show, is one of my absolute favorites. I am so excited to start this and just like go back to the world of Jamie and Claire. I think it's going to make me so happy, and there are so many books in this series that there's no need, there's no reason for me to hold it off any longer. I think I could read one of these a month and it would take me 2 years, right? There's that many of them in the series. Maybe I'm slightly over-exaggerating. Next, we have Les. Les won the Pulitzer Prize, not recently, I think it was a couple of years ago, but I've heard great things about this. I remember when I picked this up, I think it was the guy who was ringing me up, had nothing but good things to say about it. This is about a journalist who ends up going on this kind of whirlwind, how did they describe it? Around the world in 80 days Fantasia. It takes him to Mexico, Italy, Germany, Morocco, India, and Japan. And all of this kind of comes about because he got an invitation to his ex's wedding. And like, of course, you can't say no, but you can't say yes. So you say, I can't, I have all these work obligations, kind of thing. The next book is A Man Called Ovie. Fredrick Bachmann has a lot of fans and a lot of followers. I have never read anything by him, but I'm very excited about it. This is just about this old man and his neighbors, I think. Ovie seems almost certainly like the grumpiest man you will ever meet. People think him bitter and he thinks himself surrounded by idiots. One perfect start to a perfect book. What follows is a heartwarming tale of unkept cats, unlikely friendships, and a community's unexpected reassessment of one person they thought they had all figured out. Okay, so the last chunk of books is these three. Starting off with a classic, Little Women. I have wanted to read this for a very long time. I'm pretty sure I have a hot take on this, and that is, so I've seen the movie, the most recent one with Florence Pugh and Emma Watson, the whole Timothée Chalamet, etc., etc. I don't know why Amy would be seen as a villain. I'm confused. So maybe this book will change my mind. I don't know. I'm very excited about it though. I think it is just a perfect balance of romance and sisterhood and family and independence. All of these things combined into one beautiful book. And so I'm very excited to read this. Next we have is The Boys in the Boat, 9 Americans and their epic quest for gold at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. My mother is obsessed with this book. Every time I am talking about any book, she's like, have you read The Boys in the Boat yet? Have you read it yet? This is probably, if not her favorite, one of her favorite books of all time. And I've never read it. And so I finally will be able to say, yes, I've read it. Let's talk about it. This is a true story about the UW, the University of Washington's rowing team. And the UW is also my mother's alma mater. And it's about them kind of against all odds, rising in the ranks and being one of the best crew teams, right? Crew, yeah. One of the best crew teams in not only the US, but in the world, and challenging the German rowing team that rows for Adolf Hitler at the time. And finally, the last book we have is High Fidelity. I'm gonna be really honest, I picked this book up after watching the first season, the only season of High Fidelity on Hulu that stars Zoe Kravitz. I love Zoe Kravitz. I think she is so cool, such a great actress, etc., etc. I could go on, but I was just like, wait, I need more of this since there's only gonna be one season. How do I fill the void? Bought this book, have yet to read it. I think that this will be just kind of a funky, cool, edgy type of book. I know it takes place in a used record store, so just like all these like cool elements. But that is what this book is vaguely about. I guess if you've never seen the TV show, it's about Rob. He works/owns a used bookstore. He is dealing with the re-entering of his ex, who now has a fiance, and just kind of dealing with that. There's also some of his friends along with him. Interesting though, he is a guy in the book, but on the TV show, Zoe Kravitz, she was just a woman. But I really thought that was an interesting twist that they did for the TV show versus the book. That's what I have for you guys today. You guys can all hold me to it, hold me accountable. I will read these books cut to like December 2022. All the books I never read, trying to finish them all in 1 month. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for staying with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Happy Tuesday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!